All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the KissFAQ Podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today and letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. We hope that you enjoy. Welcome to episode 321 of the KissFAQ Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Gill. Today, I'm joined just by Ken. 69th Blizzard on the board. We decided to get together on a Friday afternoon, going into a long holiday weekend here for a Labor Day KissFAQ podcast bonus. 50% off, or at least 50% of the cast off, doing
That's
other
right.
things. Marcus Almighty is really busy working on his new album, Book 2, Project Gemini, in the year 3070. Mark, I'm sorry, I'm reaching for it. It is in the year of 3073, Book 2, that of course he's working on. And if you haven't checked out the Project Gemini YouTube page, late last night he took delivery of the Dark Monarchy CDs, and he was doing a show and tell of those. And you know what? I've got one ordered. I'm excited about that. Thought it looked great. So congratulations to Joe and Mark on that project coming to, I guess, conclusion to a certain extent. Did you order one of those?
I did order one of those a 3 months ago or something like that. So I'm looking forward to it.
So Andrew and I went through Andrew's Record Store Day purchases yesterday. I had already done the big reveal of the Ace Frehley Trouble Walking album. Did you manage to get out to any record stores for Record Store Day, or did you make any purchases?
I debated it because, first of all, there was still smoke going on in the area at that time. And, then the COVID thing. And I didn't know if the record store would have even had it, the one I would have gone to locally. So I ended up searching around and found a record store that allows online purchasing after like 3 hours of being open, kind of thing. And then they allow it. So I got on there right away. It was like 10 a.m. And I was able to get the, Ace. I got it here.
Nice. You've opened it, right?
I did open it. I put the hype sticker, sacrilege to some people, but I actually put the hype sticker on the cover of the album. So
nice.
Yeah. So it's nice, and the color, of course, we know, and from your video and other people's pictures and my own pictures, that it's kind of cool looking. But that's the only one I got. I'm waiting for the next one. There's a couple of releases on the next coming up at the end of September. The next drop of Record Store Day, where I'm going to buy a couple more.
What are you looking forward to on the next one? I haven't checked out any of perspective things.
I think McCartney first down. I'm going to do also Fleetwood Mac. That's I think it was 3. I can't remember. Fleetwood Mac is the alternate Rumors.
Oh, okay.
Album. So I did the same thing. It was last year, I think. I think it was last year or the year before. I had the alternate Fleetwood Mac album, that first one, or the one before it, before Rumors, and they had an alternate. So it's more like the different takes of those same sequence of songs. Or demo. I mean, and it sounds really great, and it's kind of nice to see the same album, maybe slightly different cover, but the sound is a little bit different,
slightly different,
or different variations on how they did the song, which is cool. It's a cool thing, and so they're doing that with Rumors. I'm going to pick that one up.
That would be really cool. I mean, when we think back to some of the things we'd love Kiss to do. Alternative versions of the albums. I mean, what a better way. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. Have you bought any other new Kiss stuff? Has it been a couple weeks since we last did a show? Seems like forever.
Yeah, we did one last week. I think we did one, but I did just the extra copy of Double Platinum. That was it.
Right, and I just got off the. We'll talk about that when we get to it. I did get one thing in yesterday after I'd done the show with Andrew. I went out for a walk, and when I got back, I had received... I had meant on this tour to get an Eric Singer signed drum head, and obviously they had the end of the road ones, for sale at the merch booth. Yes, but I forgot. I completely forgot. And,
Well, we were standing right in front of the
I know
merch booth in
it's
Oakland, but I saw it right there. But yeah,
I didn't really
hey,
want
we
to
had
be
too much
lugging
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, I didn't want to lug stuff around. I thought we were doing the meet and greets. Well, I obviously knew that we weren't doing it, but I didn't want stuff and bags and all that. I didn't want to worry about any merch and stuff. So, Joe, thank you very much. Eric, thank you for signing these. Back when I only picked this, it's from Rockford because he'd also written part of Black Diamond on it.
Yes.
And I think, my mask. Couple of.
I thought it was a bra or something.
So to go with that one that Eric threw at me, I now have a couple of stage played Eric Singer 2016
That's right.
drumsticks.
That's the one played off of one of them off of not that one, but the other one from
the
our
cod
show. The codpiece blood edition.
Yeah. So what now? I guess is am I becoming a picks and sticks collector?
No, maybe
now that I have 3 I do want a Peter Criss drumstick, and that's going to be tough. I want to have a Peter one, and it's going to be really expensive. I want a Eric Carr one because I want to do a little display box with the drumsticks from each of Kiss's drummers. No offense to Eddie Cannon. But each I was then going to say each of them that wore makeup, but then I'd have to still say no offense, Eddie Cannon.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you don't need that.
That's really cool. I'm absolutely kind of over the moon about it as well because again, it's stage played, kind of neat, and there you go. The other kind of piece of merch that I wanted to get, I now have. So yay! Cool. Let's jump straight into a few topics because Ace continues to announce different exclusive vinyl, and Kiss My Wax, I think, had the exclusive posting of the new Target edition of Ace Frehley's Origins Volume 2, which is coming in. What color is it? It's like black.
Black and silver. Silver and black.
So in a similar kind of, I think, design to how they did Trouble Walking, kind of
exactly
the whatever they're called, the slabs smushed on each other, just as like an egg shape. Or an egg design, and I think it looks fantastic. I just pulled the trigger on that after seeing it visually. It appeals to me, even though I've ordered the other one. What's your thought on that?
They call those biscuits, by the way.
Biscuits. Yeah, thank you. Because I know they make the biscuits from pellets.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, that looks cool. It's like, I did order one already. I ordered the gold and black, but that silver and black looks pretty cool. It would be, that's what, Kiss should have done on the first album, had that kind of silver and black look. Yeah, but oh well, what are you going to do? I'm on the fence right now. I can't buy every single thing. I mean, there's so many variations, and they put all these extra. I'm not one that buys every single variation. I can't do that. I have to stop at some point.
No, I agree. I've been very selective. I'm sorry to say that the burgundy European version or the grape color is visually appealing, but I don't play any of these. I do not play vinyl. I play FLACs of CD rips, digital music off my NAS. So I can't stand flipping from A to B. I am going to play that Trouble Walking because I want to rip it to analog to digital.
Yeah, it's 45 RPM.
I hear the mastering is really fantastic on it, and because it's such a tough album, sonics-wise, it was one of Ace's very best albums, solo albums at least. I want to hear how tough it sounds with those new sonic values applied to it. So, looking forward to that. Talking about like sonic values and whatnot, another one that was posted on the FAQ today, obviously, is a new audio leak.
Yes.
Here we go again. Beth from, where is it? Savannah,
Georgia.
Went up on YouTube as a teaser, I guess. Yay. What are your thoughts on that?
It's all right. It's a leak. I haven't heard it. It'd be nice to have the whole show, not just one song. I don't know if any of that's been released. I guess it's a leak because maybe it has never been released. But it was all right. It sounded like, it was Peter Criss singing to the orchestra, recorded orchestra. So it sounded clean, which is what I expect, from a soundboard. It was all right. It was something different. So yeah, I'd love to have a full show though.
Yeah, it sounded like a Dynasty soundboard. For
It
better,
sounded that era.
yeah, for better or worse, because it wasn't obviously the happiest era for the band, or for Peter
Correct.
particularly. But there you go. It is what it is. I mean, obviously, it was on a certain website being offered for sale recently, so it raises some questions about all of that, which is, well, is what it is, to use the modern turn of phrase. So we shall see what happens. It should be interesting. Let Freedom Rock. The Vinnie Vincent Nashville event is sold out.
That's right. $500, right?
It was $500 admission. It wasn't it a secret website you had to be a member of in order to be invited? I'm not a member of those groups. I've just pruned back my groups a lot as well. So if any groups notice that I've left, it's not you, it's me. I just need less groups in my life. I have the FAQ. What else do I need?
Yeah, I mean, good for those people who are going. It's, I guess, in October, and we're still dealing with this COVID thing, and I don't know what they're going to do. I think it's a studio, SIR,
Nashville.
SIR. And I'm sure it was limited to a very, small amount of people. If it's going to be in a studio, I'm guessing. I don't know how many it was limited to, but yeah, if I hope it works out and things go as they plan. Is he planning on doing a concert, or what is he doing?
I saw one thread that suggested he was going to be filming a live DVD, but what does that mean when it comes to Vinnie? Is that going to be Vinnie signing autographs as the live DVD, or would he even release? I mean, we've heard him talk, or at least through his proxies, say how you're not getting anything for free in terms of musical performances, that if you want to hear him play anything on guitar, you have to go to one of these events. So then would he film that and put it out at an affordable price point?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested. Either prospect is interesting in itself, that he continues to do these events and get enough people to go to them to make it worthwhile. On the one hand, I know people want to mock him because it's only 30 to 50 people, so it's a very small bar which to show out. On another hand, he's successfully pulling it off. He's putting people into SIR at $500 a pop, and then autographs are extra, and then he has merchandise to sell while you're there. And you get fed, and he plays some songs, and he talks and plays some demos, and Vinnie Vincent fans interact with one another. So come on, it's like a exotic club, really. So, exclusive one as well. So I'm not going to bash on it in any sense of the word, because it is, to every person who does it, a personal choice. And obviously I have a poster from the one that I had paid my money to go to that ended up, getting obviously postponed, but it did eventually take place. So the video part, again, I think is questionable. How does he do that and protect? Yeah. The only reason I think people might want to go see him, and that still includes me, were it not involving travel in a pandemic, is to see him play live again. And I was obviously in Atlanta and did see him perform live, so I'm much less worried about ever doing that again.
Yeah, the acoustic show, and who knows what he's going to do here, whether he's going to play acoustic or electric. I kind of hope they would do electric, but if who knows what it's going to be. Maybe it'll be a song and stories kind of thing. I don't know.
With Mr. Cusano, you never know, and that is part of the fun of the Wiz.
Yes.
Hell, it is. I still say And I will always say that I would love a Vinnie Vincent Songs and Stories session. And I don't need it to be electric, because after the hangar for the Kiss Cruise pre-party, I don't really need him to play rhythm guitar on an electric for me again.
Yeah, rhythm. Yeah. He doesn't need to do that. No.
And I really don't want to hear Speedball Jam or Fusion or any other kind of electronic noise guitar solo.
No, absolutely.
Ever. So I would much rather he just sat down with an acoustic, play the vast majority of a song. 15 songs, audience. If you're going to have a small audience, 15 of them, have them pick the songs in advance. They buy their ticket, they pick a song, and then from that, he sits down and he films his songs and stories. He talks about the writing, the recording, if there are different versions, like if he plays Tears again, talks about John Waite's, Peter Criss's, which one he liked best. If he does Back on the Streets, talk about Ace and the story of how that song ended up with him. It's endless, kind of the permutations, as me, who's someone who likes stuff like that, song stories.
So,
but whatever, I guess,
good.
We will find out what happens.
Oh, yes.
Let's see, what other topics did you throw down today?
Oh, what I throw down? Mr. Speed.
Mr. They have Speed.
We knew about the photo session and stuff, I think a week before, and now there's a video kind of it's a reenactment kind of the original Kiss I Was Made for Loving You video. I was watching it, and I could see how they tried to match it. And I mean, it did a fine job. They had a pre-recorded version of the song that obviously they recorded, I guess, for it, and sounded good. It was interesting. It's the Dynasty era, and I just found it. I know on the board they were talking about it. Some people, it's like, oh, that's horrible, or this or that, and is this going to be 2.0 or whatever, and I don't know, but I think I made a comment about it that a lot of the general public, if they saw this video, the casual fan, they would think that's Kiss. Any old someone who really didn't follow them like we do would think that that this was Kiss performing in a video, I Was Made for Loving You. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I guess it's for that contest or that TV show or whatever it is, tribute band competition or whatever it is, and it's perfectly fine. I have no problem with it otherwise.
Yeah, so obviously I'm good friends with Andrew. Andrew used to be in this band.
Yes,
Andrew's no longer in this band and has a problem with this band. I don't. I actually enjoy tribute bands when they're, making an effort either to breathe new life into old material or paying honor to what they're giving tribute to. And I think that imitation is the biggest form of flattery possible. I gotta say, I was horrendously impressed by the amount of effort that they went to with this whole process and project. Rich has been sharing a hell of a lot of stuff on Facebook during the recording of the songs. I think they also did, they recorded 2 songs. This one and I think Shout It Out Loud or something.
Okay.
Whatever, a second song. Apologies if I got that wrong. But they put a lot of effort into costumes. They put a lot of effort into stage. But my one criticism is that it just doesn't feel like real Kiss. And on a big stage, a big production, even though they've got all these elements coming together and so much attention to detail on the costumes and having Sam on stage, we still know it's a tribute, which is why I think your point is even more valid about the people who have lives probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And it's just left to nitpicking guys who are doing things to the very best of their ability with all this passion in their hearts for the band and the music over, most of them have been fans for close to 40 years, if not more. So I could nitpick away at little bits and pieces, but why? It's just not worth it because,
No.
again, it detracts from the effort that they've made. And you know what? I would actually love to see them perform.
Sure.
Their commercial, their video makes me want to go on a Friday night when we're locked in a pandemic to see Mr. Speed perform looking like that on a stage like that with lighting like that. I'll take it. Right now, here, take my money.
Right? The Dynasty set.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That'd be great. That'd be great. You know, the only thing about the video, it just doesn't feel like, you know, they're reenacting the moves and the whole thing. It just doesn't feel natural, I guess you could say, to me. I'd rather them just do their own, whatever their natural moves are and how they move on the stage. We're used to it. A certain member doing a certain move, like Paul, of course, and
this little shimmy.
Yeah. They have that certain move or swagger and stuff. Everyone's different, you know. Go ahead, and to me, I would rather them just do their own moves to the music and playing on stage, you know. I don't know. I just something original from that sense.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I would like to say one thing.
Yeah.
And you got these at your Dynasty show. You got your hand stood on, I believe.
Yeah, trying to get more of them.
What would be really nice, Mr. Speed, is Mr. Speed little foam sponges.
Like the Kiss Army sponges,
Yep.
But it would say Mr. Speed Army or whatever.
Mr. Speed. Come on, they've got a great logo. It could be a round sponge. People would be like, "What the heck are these?" But Kiss fans like us would be like, "Oh yeah, it was like a 1970 comic book guy, nerd."
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that'd be cool. That would be a little extra thing they could do if they have an audience. You know, drop them out of a little. If it's in a little club or something, out of a net or whatever, or however they would do it, or blow it out of a blower with the like a confetti, and have some of those in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, unless a rock gets in. Ow, my eye. End of tribute band.
Yes.
Permanent litigation forever and ever. And oh god, when I was doing all the research for the On Tour stuff, the amount of times Kiss have been sued for kids imitating Gene Simmons in the 70s.
Oh, gosh.
You know, father saying, "How irresponsible of them. Don't they know that kids are going to..." No, usually kids know better than to play with fire.
Exactly. And putting lighter fluid or whatever in your mouth.
Yes.
Not a good idea.
What else?
I never got that inclination to do that.
No, none whatsoever. And anyone who does flaming shots, oh my god.
Oh, no.
I was watching Ridiculousness last night again, and someone was doing the flaming shots, and it's always they go up in flame. It's like, why do that? We used to do a stupid one called the Greyhound, which if you're English or British, maybe you remember that. Or maybe it was just a Liverpudlian thing back in the late 80s, but it was stupid. All right. Kiss Alive vinyl. I think Andrew and I touched on this a little bit yesterday as well, but what's your take? Obviously, the video of the Kiss Alive vinyl sleeves being printed by the same print shop that I believe did the posters for the new Unmasked vinyl print run suggests that that's going to be the next vinyl release celebrated by Kiss Online and Shop Kiss Online.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of exciting to me, at least from the standpoint that they're going to finally celebrate Alive, which would be the 45th anniversary. Though the thing is, when I think about it, they're probably going to make a color vinyl. I would think gold. It just seems like the right thing to do because it was their first gold album, and it's gold, and I think it kind of goes with that cover for some reason, the gold. Just something about that cover. So, but the other thing is, I wish they would, if they did a 45th anniversary, do something like maybe Black Sabbath just did with the 50th anniversary of their album, or any one of these other groups have done a box set. You know, that could be maybe that's could be part of a box set. You know, could be the vinyl version, and maybe there's going to be I'd love to have a box set with that vinyl, CDs, all the shows, live stuff. they should do it right. This is a pretty big deal. The celebrated album by for Kiss. This is what made them. Really, it saved them and the company. So why not celebrate it? Not just celebrate with one color vinyl. I'd rather them do it really big and do it right. But just from things in the past, I have a feeling it's not gonna. It's probably just gonna go along with every one of these other. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's gonna be just like any other colored vinyl release that they've had in the past.
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. It would. Oh, there goes the bloody
I'll
phone
get that.
again. Robocalls again. Where were we? Yeah, going back to the live vinyl. I think we've seen from the solo album box set that they can make a nice box, a really good looking box. And if you put into it a nice fresh pressing of Alive, and yesterday I said gold, today you said gold, today I saw Ace's silver and black, and I suddenly started going, wait, that would look pretty... No, silver and black, because what was Kiss's early image? Leather and chrome.
Silver, those are the colors. Right?
So now I'm kind of thinking, well, why not copy Ace and, get a couple of, different colors going on it, because I don't want to see any more Starburst. They've done that for Best of Solos. But whatever. Gold would make the most sense in terms of the story of it being exactly what you've already mentioned.
Yeah.
But into that box with the nice embossed Kiss logo or Kiss Alive on the front, just like the solo album box, put in a nice, brand new, crisp, heavy gauge reprinting of the first tour book.
Tour book, and
because
maybe even
it was the same size, or roughly the same size as the LP, and I know some lucky people have actually found copies of it inserted into the album. And of course it comes with its own insert booklet. What was it, 8 pages for Alive, the original pullout.
Right. Have it even extended insert booklet. Have that, but extended with more liner notes and whatever and information about that whole time and period and what was going on during the live. Yeah, that's what they should do.
So that wouldn't be that difficult to do, print all the tour dates from it. Just a quick and dirty book. Get their memories. I know you have enough quotes from Ken Sharp's, writings for Behind the Mask and Nothing to Lose in order to, do a nice layout. There's plenty of photos left from that era, which I think were majority Bob Gruen. Throw inside, press photos from the era. I can't remember if there was an Alive press kit. That's way Kiss My Collectibles.
I don't recall.
Realm of expertise, not mine. So, stuff like that. Bio. Maybe there was a bio from the time. I don't have absolutely everything in my files.
Sure there was something out, but yeah.
So there's a whole, without going into all this audio stuff that we just fantasize about, a pressing of each of the LPs from the shows recorded.
Different shows, right.
Not going to happen. Maybe a box of CDs would at one point. But for this, just a celebration and a repro Alive backstage pass. Throw it into a box. There you go. Then on Kiss Online, obviously, would have T-shirts, mugs, shot glasses, baseball caps, underwear, diapers, phone cases. I'm not mocking. I'm kind of joking, but because there's something for everyone. And
there is.
In this day and age, so much of it is just made just to order that whatever is in your head can be done.
Yeah. I hope it's something nicely done. We'll see what happens. I'm guessing they would announce it on September, was it 10th? What day is it?
I'm not saying any dates. I don't want to get corrected today.
Okay, yeah. I can't remember. It's coming soon, the anniversary in September here.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. That's, Andrew, why didn't we think of all that stuff yesterday? Come on. Got to get the voice of reason on. That's why. All right. Okay. Access TV Greenlight's Music's Greatest Mystery Series, including Kiss. So what do they plan on doing to Kiss, and is it going to be better than that TV show that came out recently?
Well, the only blip it said about Kiss was about Kiss myths, you know, which could
Well,
be a lot of things,
that
I
could be a
guess.
long episode.
I
Kiss
know.
myths.
They in the on the board. I said Gene Simmons, tongue being a cow's tongue or whatever. That was one myth. Um, there's other stuff too. I remember even magazines back then. One was, Kiss was dead or Gene Simmons was dead. I can't remember. Another one of those things. But I'm sure there's other myths. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with. I know they're doing an Elvis one, which there's a lot of that. Of course, that could be a good one. Like he's not really dead. That was one of the myths. Like he faked it. Um, yeah, and yeah. There's a lot of things.
Wait,
So
what year was
I
Elvis
hope it's
born?
good.
He was born like 1935, wasn't he? So he'd be pretty old by now. 85.
Oh, he'd be old, yeah, pretty old now. Yeah, he had a twin brother that was, he died at birth. Um, and there's just things where they say, that his middle name was. This is just like Elvis now. I'm knowing too much about Elvis, but on his grave, it has Aaron. His middle name is Aaron, and it's two A's. And normally he was always spelled with one A. So they say that was a clue that it's really not, Elvis is not there. Stuff like that.
I still say there's a book in it. I could have sworn someone was doing a book on like Kiss's hyperbole or lies or myths or
That'd be
urban
good.
legends of Kiss, because
Hasn't been
that
done.
would actually fill. You could actually
Oh
do
yeah,
a fact-checking book on Kiss's history in an entertaining, light, readable manner. And
exactly.
that's direction for someone else. I have zero interest in that, but it would be fun that you could flip it open to any page and just read a 1 or 2 page
Exactly.
thing about something that happened in history, what was supposed to have happened, what actually happened, and so maybe other
You don't want
details.
to write that book? You don't want
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I like writing short,
You like facts.
short little bite-sized facts. Things
Okay.
are much more rewarding now. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I look forward to watching that. Eric Singer checks out Kiss Pinball Machine and Others. I have not seen that yet, so what is it?
I watched the video. I forget the guy that he's with, but the problem is you can't really hear Eric all the time because only the other guy he's with has the microphone on him, and they're in this like arcade type pinball warehouse or something, and they're all classic ones, all kinds of pinball games from the past, pinball machines that is, and they went up to the funny thing about the Kiss one is there was the newer Kiss machine. They had the old one there too, but the newer Kiss machine, and they're looking at it, and they're looking at, well, wait a minute, some of the pictures on the new Kiss pinball machine show it's Peter Chris on certain pictures and Ace on certain little spots, but then there you can see on the back, the back glass, that's definitely not Peter Chris. That's Eric Singer. So it's a little bit and where's Tommy? I think Tommy. They thought I think one of them was really Tommy on the actual board itself, where the pinball. But anyway, they were kind of mentioning that. He knew. I don't know. Eric was kind of fiddling around with it, but yeah, they just walked around and he wasn't in the whole thing. They just went through a bunch of other machines and got to the original Kiss pinball machine and looked at that. It was pretty much not a lot going on there. It's just a matter of I thought it interesting that they're pointing out that the new one didn't have it had it multiple members. Sometimes it was Peter, sometimes it was Eric Singer. It wasn't consistent on the machine. But that was it. There was nothing that came out big about from that.
Saving on licensing, clearly. And that was, I think, Jordan the Lion. His podcast did the visits to the pinball thing. Whatever.
Okay.
I haven't checked it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a quick thing.
I have no interest in checking that out, actually. I was just looking through the board for some of the other topics that have been flying around over the last week. Daniel, our very own Wheeze, got on to his YouTube channel and read some of the new Swedish Partners in Crime book and translated it into English, because that was only written in Swedish and published there. And to date, they've showed no interest in doing anything for the English language market, because it's their stories and their language and their word for their people. Or if that's not correct, for some other reason. So you can get a taste of one of the stories in there, and I'm glad that he did it. So Daniel, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Have you checked that out yet? Because that's on my playlist for this evening.
I did play, I started to play it, and then I had to stop and go to something else, but I'll go back to it. But I started to play it. The only reason he did it was because I had joked about it, that I said maybe Daniel can record an audio version for us, since it's in Swedish language, the book. And he actually did the first chapter, I think. So I started to listen to it, and it was funny to me that he actually did it. But I'm gonna finish listening to it. Maybe he'll do more. Maybe that'd be good, since we can't read it.
The official audio book, and I've been
exactly.
Yeah, I've been doing some of that recently. I finished
Oh, really?
it. Yeah, I finished it today. Not for an audiobook, but reading from a book and then editing into listenable format. I posted a big shot of a multi-track wave file from what
I saw that. I was like, what is
working
that?
on that pretty much the last month. You're going to find out what it is very soon. But I have a lot of respect for people who put a lot of effort into doing their shows and mixing in, music and other things into, nearly an hour's worth of entertainment is far more challenging than playing, what we do here.
What we do here, yeah.
Is press record, press stop, throw it up into a video. Well, there's a little bit more to that, because I do clean the audio channels, because you can hear me moving around and, flipping on my mouse. And
the phone ringing.
And the phone rings. So today I'm going to actually have to do some more editing. Thanks a lot, telemarketer. But, it's a really fun thing. So that's why I appreciate Daniel
I look
doing
forward to hearing that.
Yeah, and it should be very soon. You have to see that the executive producer approves of it, and then it'll be out there. What else? Another podcast talking about Scandinavia. No, this one isn't Scandinavia. It is Claudio Bergaman's video blog, and he interviews designer Dennis Willock about the making of the iconic Rock and Roll Over cover. So back in the days of Kiss magazine, we were very lucky that Jeff and Kurt did a bunch of articles on. They did Rock and Roll Over, they did Love Gun. I think they may have done Destroyer, but about the recordings of the albums. And obviously for the Elder book, Tim talked to Dennis and did a very in-depth interview with him on the design of that. And then he did he spoke with the photographer, he spoke with the door builder, and got the full story of everything that went around with it. So it's a very fascinating area of history, the design and packaging of albums. Victor Stabin, I think, has been on some podcasts. He, of course, did the illustration for Unmasked. Who else is still actually around? So very interesting. That's another one that is on my playlist. I have not had a chance to check out yet, but it's a current topic on the FAQ message board if you're looking for something to do on a quiet Friday evening. Well, any other topics on the board kind of piqued your fancy today? And I'm on there right now looking, so if we're going to call out your topics, you're in trouble.
I don't remember what else is on the board. I guess I should look.
Ace Elder demos. I'll go with this one. That's just, I actually know where those audios came from, because that guy just lists everything from other places in most cases. Those actually came from very low generation tapes that are sitting
over there.
And again, they're just common. They are common as hell. But one of my missions is always to find less and less generated, slightly better sounding versions of stuff that we've had for many years, until hopefully one day Kiss drops a crystal clear version on my head, and I can say that I'm fully done, and I'm not going to find any better than that. So you'll always find incremental slightly less processed, because some of the stuff that was out in the 90s had been over-processed by inappropriate people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna point fingers, but but there you go. It all goes back to the tape trading days. And it was always, you'd often ask someone, do you have this tape? Is it low gen? How many generations is it? And if you get past 3, there's no point having that conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some other stuff that I noticed about, there's one that I think it was last week or earlier this week. September 1st. Kiss still makes me happy.
Yay!
That one, and I thought, for the most part, I agree. Kiss makes me happy. I mean, it gets at least for me, it gets my mind off of the rest of that crap or whatever that's going on in the world these days, regarding whether it's like you said, the COVID or the election, politics, fires, hurricanes. I mean, it's endless, and Kiss has just always been a thing that you can go to, and whether it's just listen to the music or right here us talking about taking time and just talking Kiss and forgetting about the rest of the stuff that's going on around us in our lives, in the world and so on. So yeah, I mean, it still makes me happy because I get excited for when they do something new or something's released or they're going to play a live show, and so still, I don't know if anyone said that they didn't make them happy anymore. Maybe they don't.
There's a couple of guys on the board. I'm pretty sure Kiss makes them very unhappy. Might be more than a couple, sadly.
Yeah, I'm sure. Actually, there's probably some that they anything after 78 or something doesn't make them happy.
God, just imagine 40 years of misery.
And that brings up another thing I was thinking about today is the, I don't know, it's like a poll in a way, but why do people, for instance, visit this, the KissFAQ site? What is their, how often do they visit? Do they visit once every day, multiple times a day, once a week, once a month, once a year, and why? What are they looking to find, or is it just kind of a fan, all those fans kind of congregating together kind of thing, or is there I'm sure there's some people just come here to, of course, to
annoy people,
cause trouble, troll, or whatever. So yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, you know what? Some of these people, why are they even here? They're always, hating. If they don't like it, then don't come here. Go somewhere.
What
else,
was that line in the exposed video?
Ban
But no, go back to the exposed video. Beat it, Yahoo.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, but that was just something that I started thinking about. I think after I saw this Kiss Still Makes Me Happy thing, and I thought about, what? And some of these people here, they're not always happy.
Yeah, and it's very true. I mean, for me, I saw that thread and I didn't even bother going in it. Thought about it for less than a nanosecond. Yeah, Kiss still makes me happy. They're a constant in my life. Going back now nearly 40 years, there isn't a song I can't play without it setting off the synapses and giving me a memory.
That's
the
true.
Vast majority of which are good. There are so many pop culture references that you see. I mean, how many people get excited when they see a Kiss pinball machine in a movie, or a Kiss poster on a wall in a TV show, or, Gene Simmons posting on Twitter
About the
elk.
Was it the elk? The elk,
Yes.
that was that killed the hunter.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with hunting. I also don't have a problem with elk that have been shot by arrows getting their own back on the person who shot the arrow. It's called nature. That's why it's called hunting. It's not. I actually always agreed with Ted Nugent's rack 'em, pack 'em, and stack 'em. You hunt, you kill, you eat, and you don't waste. I have a problem with trophy hunting, and I do understand the difference between gratuitous trophy hunting, and that's just shooting something and letting it rot. And I do understand the conservation point of view. I'm still against it. I don't like the concept whatsoever, but I do get that money and maintaining populations and all that. But generally, nature does have its own way of sorting all that out. But that's a philosophical thing. So I'm not anti-hunting, but I'm not going to shed a tear when you shoot a bear or an animal and it's still alive and it stomps your ass.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's like, oh, what's going on? It's like, well, hey, it happened. It's unfortunate for the hunter, but unfortunately,
should have aimed better.
I guess he snuck up on maybe by an elk.
That's kind of
they're dangerous. They're huge animals.
They are, and they are really gnarly attitudes. So
I'm sure there's a lot of people that we don't hear about it that have been killed by large.
There are plenty. There's a great video on TMZ of a woman at I think Yellowstone or some national park who got too close trying to get a selfie with a bison, and it picked her up and threw her. I mean, come on, it's Darwinism at its very, very best and entertaining.
Well, that's going to be, this is going to be inspiration for Gene for the new characters for Kiss, and one's going to be the elk,
the moose,
or the moose, and have the horns coming out. Oh, jeez.
So that's very entertaining. And then I think maybe one last topic in here is probably worth mentioning just in passing before we wrap up, and that's Dee Snider criticizes Kiss over replacement members' makeup. Updated includes Sebastian Bach and Sweet Respond, whoever Sweet is, and Eddie Trunk. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I think you said about the Kiss makes me happy. I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I'm going to violate the terms of the toss on the FAQ right now, because on the FAQ, I don't allow politics for a reason. And I'm scrolling through Facebook, and there's so much of that right now. And there are people, and I often think about clicking unfriend, and then I remember that I can keep scrolling, just like on the FAQ. I don't have to get into a discussion or a debate about someone's opinions on any topic, whether it's politics, food, veganism, religion, whatever.
Yeah.
I come back to, why are these people on my Facebook? Or why are these people on the FAQ? Well, because a common bond has brought us together. Now, occasionally I see someone posting stupid stuff, and I'm like, why the hell are you on my Facebook? You never post anything about Kiss. See you later. And that swings on both sides of the spectrum as well. It's just like, if you're just droning on and you're just like trying to post on my timeline all that garbage, adios. Mm-hmm. But everything else, does Kiss make me happy? Yeah, it's brought me together with a hell of a lot of people on Facebook, off Facebook, on the phone still as well, for that matter. But, flip back to Sebastian. Did you check out any of that thread? Or is that just done to death for you?
Yeah, I don't know if I saw some of the Dee Snider part of it. I just think, to me, the Dee Snider thing is just he wants to get his name out there in the news. Attention, and he's kind of, I think I see a part of as jealousy because he wasn't able to do the same thing, maybe really with Twisted Sister. So he could, but I think if the price was right, he would do it with any type, replacement members. Obviously, he'd have to, right? But I just think it's just mostly he wants the attention, and a little bit of jealousy thrown in there.
And same for Sebastian, because he can't tour or do anything right now, so he needs a little bit of attention to getting involved. It's always fun watching these guys get into it because, it's so easy to lob things at Kiss, they kind of just open the doors for criticism. And that's one of the things that makes them so fun, is that they're always annoying people. They're always getting people worked up about something, whether it's Tommy and Eric, or they lied about this in 1974, and I'm still upset about it 46 years later. I mean, it's just, the cup overfloweth with joy.
Yeah, that's the Eddie Trunk part of the things, too, and where, that's fine, you have your opinion, but I swear if Paul and Gene had come on a show like 20 years ago or 10 years, or they are regularly, appearing here and there on one of his radio programs, he would not be saying that. He would not be saying what he's saying now regarding makeup.
Nope.
He wouldn't do it.
Maybe.
I think part of it is just, he was kind of upset about, but he's more out front with it because they won't come on, and do an interview with him.
Right, but has he crossed the boundary between being offended to being upset to being butthurt about it?
No,
because,
he's not butthurt about it.
I love Eddie. I love what he does in rock and
I
roll.
enjoy
So I have very few criticisms for him, but I do think he's handled this whole thing with Gene and Paul. Okay, with Paul. Poorly. Yeah, I think the whole situation didn't need to be what it is, but then again, I don't think we know half the details, and I don't want to know.
Sure, there's more to it, yeah.
All right, well, there we go. There's a bunch of by the board, literally board today, for the board. Don't use that anymore, because people kept misconstruing that as being like this podcast was only for members of the FAQ board. Otherwise, you wouldn't get it. Sorry, if you're a KISS fan, you either get it or you imagine that. Keep scrolling. So thanks.
It was 50% off today, so yeah.
There we go. We'll get the whole gang back together very soon. I have no idea I know we have some episodes planned for the end of September. I have no idea what's going on next week. It'd be nice to break Mark out of his studio and get him talking about some
out of jail.
Yeah, get him talking about some Bob Ezrin.
He'll love that.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be signing up for that topic really rapidly. Anyway, thanks for the great idea of doing a Labor Day special, just because we can. So there's some topics from the board. So for now, from Ken and myself and the rest of the KISS FAQ team, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you for spending time listening to the KISS FAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KISS FAQ message board and discuss the topic we've broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.